I'm doing it for my daughter.
Twitter's not a complicated
system.
Yeah, it's 140 characters. It's basically the same app that it was when it came out. It's not something that needs thousands of people to maintain. There's thousands of people that are monitoring what's going on the platform and having constant neurotic discussions in Slack. Who's stirring up, you know.
Have you ever looked into whistleblowers that worked there?
I'm not sure I've seen or heard any because it's women. They get women because they're emotional. If they fall in line with whatever the crew decides. They're not women blow the whistle on sex stuff.
Yeah.
If they get,
how they get those by?
Because there's no men at Twitter that are trying to f them. It's all women and
I bet you what about Ranjit?
H1B. No, because they're scared for their life. The Indians that work in Silicon Valley, they're like very button up. Like,
what if 6 of them got together in the cafeteria?
Head down on their paper.
Okay.
But that's why they employ women and H1B. Is that what it is? H1B visa? Is that what that is? H1B. So the women are in line with the censorship, and the H1B fellas, they're just thanking God every day that they're in America. And that we'll do whatever.
A techie Silicon Valley job.
And that's another thing. One of the reasons why diversity is important to the corporate world is because diverse workers unionize less, and they have less of a cohesive kind of worker identity.
Do you think it's because inside their culture is like the work culture of the company is shattered because they're like no one likes each other?
Well, it's like living in a big city. When you have diverse people, you tend to sort of focus in on what you're doing.
Yeah, makes sense.
And you have less of a sense of neighborhood. But anytime there's a serious workers' revolt, like Argentina, Peru, the Irish, whatever, it's always like part of like Brazilian the slave any slave revolt. anytime there's something like that, it's a homogenous group.
Yeah,
there's never been a group where an uprising.
Yeah, where like an Indian guy and a black guy and a white guy are like, aren't you sick of taking shit, Panjeet?
Yes.
He's like, I sure the fuck am. What do you think, Tyrone?
Never happened.
And he's like, hell, this bullshit.
Never happened. Yeah, these people are cooked.
They're the shoes. There's the whatever that note is.
We're in trouble. The only thing holding us together is these big white male personalities, basically Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, Trump. Tucker Carlson. There's like the only so nice. The only thing holding it together, in my opinion.
So they're no matter who you. I mean, go ahead, vote anyone in. Look, there's your party. Wow, that's pretty heartening, isn't it? Great.
Well, I think it's people are. It's also the people's fault. People are so sensitive and like traumatized by being called racist. Being called racist is the worst thing you can be called for a lot of people.
I guess it is.
And I think people are like massively en masse traumatized.
If we could find Trotsky's body and exhume it and burn the bones or somehow do a sort of a blessing on it, maybe we could stop his curses like that. Maybe hey, you remember how he invented racism, the word racism?
The word racism.
Leon Trotsky. I forget what his real last name is, but the Bolshevik Revolution is pretty much the end of the world.
What a masterful stroke of genius.
It's pretty incredible how that stuff is pulled off. It smells like you're digging up mushrooms from the soil right now. Wow, that's really good, man.
It smells like candy tape.
That book was buried.
Well, I mean, the problem, it's people have learned how to hack white people.
Yeah.
Because white cultures, white civilization is a civilization of shame. That's how social mores are enforced, is via shame. Like the last thing you want.
That's how females enforce it.
If you're a Puritan or whatever, males, I think males too. It's just that it's in opposition. The opposite would be a culture of I guess just violence. Like if you steal in the Middle East, you get your hands cut off. If you steal in the colonial times, you get publicly shamed and humiliated.
You get the thing, the freaking head, whatever you call you put your arms and your head through the.
Oh, the head shackle.
Yeah.
So to white people, it's actually true that that shame, it activates the same part of your brain that torture activates, feeling shame or humiliation for something like that.
It's all MK Ultra, and it's all psychological warfare to blast people's minds and to melt them, and so they can tolerate anything pretty much.
This is why it's like no Middle Eastern country is ever going to take Palestinian immigrants because they just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, then they won't go that way. But Japanese people don't either.
Japanese people are an interesting. They're an interesting case because they have
an interesting fish.
A shame-based culture, but they're also like pretty nationalistic and so thus far resilient to
their own annihilation, seeing as how it happened several decades ago, and they're still pretty homogenous, which is incredible.
Mm-hmm. But I think that their shame is a different. It's a different type of shame than
they have like familial shame.
White people have.
Like, my son is a
silly Billy.
Yeah.
My son, look, he has no honor. Yeah.
Start himself immediately.
They're doing like Bosuzoku motorcycles, like bum, ba-da-dum, bum, 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 ba-da-dum, bum. You ever see those?
Yeah, of course.
And they're like my son, look at him, he's such a
silly Billy.
And it's like a Japanese businessman who's like clearly the coolest guy, like, Johnny Suzuki, and he's killing it. He's been like top of his industry, king of industry, titan of industry for years, and his son is just like spending his days making a motorcycle chirp a certain way.
What's this one?
This is just
why is this guy still alive?
Larry Fink?
Oh, Larry Fink.
He sounds familiar. Larry
Fink.
Fink.
Is
he BlackRock?
Why hasn't some
Brazilian
guy?
Yeah.
You have to force.
You can't move what is not alive.
BlackRock, we are forcing behaviors.
It's probably
what we're doing
green
screen
screen.
Is
CGI.
This guy walks around New York City.
Yeah, you can find him.
Your compensation.
I mean, I don't doubt it, but at the same time, I do.
Force behaviors. And if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team.
I like force.
He's gonna force behaviors.
I like force.
What is it, GMT score? No, what are they called?
Force on
Brazilian.
that guy's ESG scores. Yeah.
ESG scores.
Yeah.
We were talking about that, like the difference in pricing.
Yeah.
Like how much of a percentage off you get. Like I really wanted like ESG scores, right? Let's say you have a high score, say you have a low score, right? So
What's
just say for
ESG?
ESG is like how many
Silly
people are
Billy.
working for you.
Economic social governance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is the camera still rolling, Chris?
Yes.
How many chins are working? How many
Oh, okay.
dots? How many dots are milling?
How many Changs?
And you
Yeah.
could like help
So,
help my daughter.
Like what's the percentage off for like, so this, let's just say Fortune 100 companies, top of the score is, let's just say Facebook, right? Or Twitter, or no, not Twitter, Facebook. Let's say Facebook's top of the mark. They have the best ESG score. They're the highest social credit, which they probably had. They're like, let's create a credit system where I'm winning.
Yeah.
Which is really funny.
Yeah.
To be like, yeah, let's create like special scores where I'm the best at it. It'd be like, yeah, the new credit system, how good you are at boxing, how decent you are at computation and understanding computers, and
Drumming.
Japanese sports cars from the mid 90s. That's the new hierarchy of like, it's not your health or blood work or your labs. It's not your 40 times, nothing. It's this stuff.
Yeah.
No, this stuff. So anyway, ESG. And they're like, all right, Facebook creates them. Like, let's say the bottom of the tier, like another Fortune 100 company, like let's say, just say like Saudi Aramco or John Deere. Let's just think John Deere. And John Deere has like no gays or no blacks, and there's no Indian people working there, and they're just like a horrible ESG score. What is the special, other than like, I mean, the real, like the monetary from BlackRock, what is the percentage break on money they're getting lent to, and pools of money they're getting lent to, and then pools of money they're getting lent to? That's where I think they're really starting to get the divide. That's where you really get the, now company owners are like, wow, it's really costing me a lot of money to like not play this game.
Well, it's done by force either way. Either you
Right.
go, it's people think you can do a boycott, do this and
But is
that.
it 3%?
It doesn't matter. Like a boycotted company that has that high score will still make more money than a company that has no boycott with a lower score.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, it's
Right.
absolutely mean, it's about greed. Oh, really? What about the score? So it's, I mean, we knew these days would come and they would be doing things by force. But I mean, yeah.
No, never.
What about the truckers union?
truckers? Are all white guys.
Truckers are black guys.
Truckers are, well,
A lot of black truckers, predominantly.
what's that?
It's a lot of black American truckers, Jamaican too, and Russian.
in my world.
Are there Jamaican truckers in a part of the Canadian convoy? What truckers revolt are you talking about?
The
French one or the Canadian one?
The Canadian one. And
I think that's going to be all white.
Oh yeah, that's probably going to be. But like
same with the French one and the British one. I think it's all. I think there's definitely something about white working class, not like plumbers around here, but working class, like truckers.
Mm-hmm.
Truckers is like kind of like I feel like if you're a trucker, you're such a trucker, and I could see white working class and like American, not Jamaican or Haitian or Ethiopian, but American descendants of slavery, like black truckers. I could see them doing something.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't take that shit.
I could see them I could see them having a cohesive identity together if it involves money, trucking money.
I love them.
But when it comes to this shit, sitting in an office, it's a big part of why they promote diversity is because it fractures any chance of like worker.
That's so awesome.
Group identity.
What a mind fuck, huh?
Yeah. And that's a studied thing too. That's not like something my racist mind is making up. That's like a scientifically studied thing that when they're in and I don't know the study, I don't know the even the fucking how you'd say what the result is, but that's what happens.
You're calling this so this diversity bullshit that they're pushing is to get union workers to never unionize.
Is to make it so that
and what's that lobby?
Is to make it so that the workers will tolerate more, will have less of a sense of like not resistance, but like
they'll control their tongues.
It atomizing people. It atomizes people. Diversity atomizes people, and it makes it managers love that.
Adam 22 Eyes people.
Managers. At Adam 22 Eyes people.
So you can give her head.
Managers want to deal with atomized, fragmented individuals, not with groups, angry groups.
Yeah, they don't like that.
Same thing with politicians, but it's similar to. It's kind of like there's a lot of weird things that corporate America supports that you wouldn't think they would support, like higher minimum wage. Do you know why that is?
Isn't it like savings like right off the top?
Well, one reason is because the local mom and pop hardware store that is like less well organized. They have lower profit margins. It's not as effective of a business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's not saying that it shouldn't exist. I think that local businesses, you should support local businesses, and it would be a better society if we didn't have these megalithic businesses. Yeah. But Walmart, Amazon, etc., they are better organized. They are more efficient than like Adler's hardware, obviously. But if you are on Team America, and by Team America, I don't mean Ben Shapiro's collection of ideas. America's not a collection of ideas. America is a people, Americans. If you are Team America, then the most prominent talking points need to be the immediate deportation of illegals and the end of the abuse of the American worker by programs like this H1B, the gamification of stuff like this that's set up to benefit people who aren't us.